have with us Dr. M.V. Krishnasastry. Dr. M.V. Krishnasastry is a scientist G at National Center for Cell Sciences, Pune. He has been working on the evolution of cooperation and establishment of disease aspects by bacterial populations.
Okay, I'm Shastri. My interest is on applications of game theory in biology in general, and we like to study actually establishment of disease. We have a model, not a model organism, but we are working on real establishment of M. tuberculosis in humans. Recently, Anand Mahindra tweeted a tweet saying that he doesn't like webinars. Okay, maybe whatever it is, but essentially he's saying that okay, webinar is over, anarkali uthao. I'm just trying to hope that the talk is going to be interesting. I'm trying to be very fundamental, and I want to go as much as detail as possible, but we can't have infinite time. So I put in some effort, you put in some effort privately, we'll be able to achieve something good. This is actually a proposition. You will begin to understand what exactly I'm trying to say. So I begin my talk with a something like a 12-second video clip, and I want to see how many of you can really identify the unusual thing in this video clip. Is the video playing all right for all of you? I'm just hoping. What can you see in this video, in this 10-second clip? This is actually one of a typical Indian road which we all drive. Okay. Already played 3-4 times. Can you identify? This is actually a dash camera from my car, which I record whenever I drive outside. Okay. Since I'm not going to something like details for feedback from everybody, I would like to attend. Can you see this auto coming? Next a two-wheeler, and the next another two-wheeler. What are they doing? This is the left side of the road going towards the highway, and that is their left side. Okay, and then we ask the question, why these people are going like this? Now let's look at the whole logic behind this entire thing. In this entire thing, you will see that these people have originated. Okay, instead of taking this green path, take a left turn, go, and then drive on this side of the road and reach the destination. So what were they doing? They took a right turn, driving on the red path, and then reaching the destination. If you mathematically or simple logistically look at this entire scenario, you will see that driving from this line, either on the red or on the green, it is the same distance because the road is parallel. And here you have a destination D. What is that they are supposed to do? They are supposed to take a left turn, drive X meters, and 2X meters is what they have to incur the cost. But these individuals who are driving on the road didn't want to incur this cost. Simple, they take a left turn and do. So an interesting question that came to our mind was, do you think that this person who drove on the left side of the road, he reached this point, red spot P, then he stops, goes backwards in this arrow, and then go all the way down here, take the U-turn and reach the destination? You think it is possible, given especially these three conditions? The three conditions are, there is no policeman anywhere around in this scenario. Okay, meaning there is in the entire road there is no policeman. Okay. And importantly, there are no witnesses to this incident. Okay, what I mean to say is that there are no witnesses. No one is actually taking just like I am recording my video, no one is actually recording a video of these people's wrong side driving on the road. And importantly, I think most importantly, the third important is that no one is actually stopping from it. Remember that he already reached this place and he want to reach the destination D. He has already reached here. There are no barriers that stop him, meaning there are no knockability, there are no ditches, there are no fence, nothing. So under these three conditions, will this person ever go backwards and drive on the right side of the road and reach the destination? This is the question which we were interested in answering it. In all reality, what will be your answer? My best guess is that person is not going to go, correct? So in given all these three conditions, what were these three conditions that I'm saying? The three conditions are meant for maximizing temptation for wrong side driving. We call it defection. Okay, a good road rule behavior person following the road rule following person, what he does is that he would like to incur the cost, meaning by trying to be cooperative. Rule followers are always cooperators. Rule breakers are always defectors here. So under these three conditions, how can we begin to convert this entire thing into a biology? Okay, this is what we at the one end, this is nothing but a social dilemma. This issue is a social dilemma. Wrong side driving is a social dilemma. How is the same thing is applicable to nearly applicable in biology? But before I go into that, I would like to introduce into you the concept of what is called a game theory. Game theory is nothing extraordinary, but it started off with simple thinking, and it deals with a branch of mathematics and analysis of strategies, okay, in a competitive situations where the outcome of participants' choice of action depends critically on the action of other participants, just like any other hand-to-hand game, correct? In a boxing or something, you know what the other person is trying to do. If you have ever watched the movie Enter the Dragon by Bruce Lee, his actions are always swift. Before even his opponent can decide to attack, he finished his attack. Okay, but there is an extreme of an example. Bruce Lee like talented people are not born in this country very often. Okay, now you come back to the same kind of thinking. Many years back, Spanish generals in trying to invade Mexico. So what did the Spanish general thought was, he knows that his force is not greatly strong. Okay, but at the same time, how can he win the battle? Second important issue that comes up is that his people should fight the battle with their full potential, meaning just by looking at the enemy, they should not run away. They should stand and fight. So one way he felt was that they all reached by a boat to the Mexican borders. After in full view of even the enemy comes to know that, because he wanted the enemy to know that the boat is being destroyed. So that means that the Spanish soldiers have no way to take the boat and run away from that. So they have only two choices: stand and fight valiantly, and they know that they have to win. Okay. But at the same time, what happened to the other person's army thinking? If a general can destroy the boat in their knowledge, that means that they are very confident of their ability. Okay, if they are so confident of their ability, they know very well, okay, they will be able to win it. That means that we should not be fighting them so hard. So they simply gave up. This is something called you fight, you concede. Okay, we will be discussing this example at length, how to model it mathematically. Okay, whether you would you want to fight with me or not? What are the choices which I can do if I am trying to distribute a cake between me and one of the participants, listeners? We have a choice of splitting this cake into two 250s. Okay, you eat half, I eat half. Or why can't I take the whole of it and just give you a small piece of it, maybe smaller than this? What would you do? We think that, just also imagine that I am not diabetic. That means I can eat this whole sweet cake myself, no issue at all. So can you. You're also not diabetic. But then, how do I share this thing like this, which is the right way? Okay, you fight or you just simply share. Another example, if I had to distribute 100 rupees, do I share it like 50-50 and you? Maybe most of you are thinking, but I'm not the one who is going to share like this. I would rather give you, I didn't have find rest of the 5 rupee coin note and a 2 rupee note and a 2 rupee note. Otherwise, I would have put 99 rupees on my side and given you 1 rupee. But maybe this is what I was trying to think of. Okay. But you think what you will all be thinking about me. This guy is damn selfish. I mean, he doesn't even want to share a cake and he wants to take all the money with himself. Let's look at it. What really happens in that? Okay. This is we're fighting for a resource. Now, the same example, if I have to, if me and my guru apply for a job, okay, what should I do? Should I say that, you know, my guru is very good, he is already much more knowledgeable than me, so you give him the job, I'm going to concede? I will never say that. I would say the opposite. My guru is old, he is no longer fit, he can't do anything better than me. I'm the one who can do that job much better than him, right? Unless you take up that kind of position, will you be confident to get a job? So now you start thinking. An important point here is, this is one of the video. Okay, we're all humans. You think that I should give you a half of the cake and you should enjoy half of the cake. But I have cut down the audio. Okay, these are the researchers who were researching on loons. Loons migrate from one place to the other to enjoy certain weather for breeding. Okay, and wherever the lakes are nice and secluded, they breed. So essentially, they look for a nice secluded place, and when the environment is there, but there they will start breeding. Their best breeding often happens with just two per year. So how can they increase their population? Especially when another male or a female comes into this area, they fight for it. Sometimes the fight ends up fatally, meaning one of them gets wounded to death. So they will try to occupy when the resource is valuable, they fight for it. Okay, this is just an example. So then, how do they? I mean, are they trying to learn some game theory? No, they're trying to increase their fitness by trying to do that fighting. Okay, they're actually trying to increase their fitness. In this, I'm just trying. It is only just a 2-minute video. Okay, I'm trying to want you to watch the fight. Okay, so what kind of fight it can lead to. I hope everyone is seeing it clearly. Resource is nice and secluded. They have islands, so they can breed. They can put their eggs. Just, That is just to show you how nice and secluded. That means that their value of the territory is very, very high. It is nice, secluded, and the value of the territory increases means that they think that it is the best place for them, that they should fight for it. It always happens that sometimes a new male comes into that and fights with the male and there. Maybe it can be female, okay? But invariably, the fight results in reality. So there is an intruder here, okay? There could be always there could be an existing pair that is already present, and the third one will come in. The fight will result, and that fight invariably sometimes good amount of time people try to estimate it. It leads to fatality. Okay, that means that the best fighting ability one will survive and start breeding for even better. Okay, this kind of formalism is not new, but I must tell you, we should always look at some kind of a historical perspective. The person is John von Neumann, one of the most brilliant modern mathematicians, okay, who is versatile. As a tribute to him, you should go back, read, whether it is a Wikipedia page or some other page or something else, you should read about him. Remember, this man is a genius, I would call him. Practically a wide variety of subjects. He has worked, published beautiful work, and that has become a trend for that. Oscar Morgenstern was an economist. Together, these two people brought the concepts of game theory in economics, and that started ruling today's modern world. Okay, it is extremely important that this kind of people, we should at least read their life history for the fun of it. Okay, because there could be a lot of inspirations we can derive from their work. Okay, in a game, what happens? You know that there will be two players, right? Player A and player B. Agent A uses his own way of strategizing, maximizing his utility, okay, through anticipating. That means that he also anticipates what B will do. Exactly the same mirroring thing B can also do. That means that he has his own way of thinking. He has his own wishes to maximize his benefit, anticipating. And A will have his own response and B will have his own response. But they're not doing it for fun. So these we call players. Okay, this is a simple scenario game. This is all nothing new to you. But then, if a factor will come is that what for are they fighting? They are fighting for a resource. Okay, if the choice of the resource one is better than two, better than three, then what would they be fighting? Would they settle for one? Or would they say, go and wish for three? Here, they are simply not even telling it is 3 rupees or 2 rupees or 1. Okay, or it is a 3 million or 2 million or 1 million. That magnitude is important, is irrelevant right now. It can be fold, it can be anything. But essentially, they are fighting for a given target. Here comes is just for the benefit of all the people who are students, rationality. This is the dictionary meaning of the word rationality. The quality of being based on or in accordance with a reason or logic. Okay, we say that certain people act logically. I mean, they are rational people, meaning, okay, we use the word, they think better, they can do things better. So if we are a rational person, we are always expected to exhibit that behavior. But if I am a rational person behaving illogically, I mean, what kind of person is that? That's how we begin to express it. Rationality is a quality or a state of being rational, that is being based on or agreeable to a reason. Okay, why this is important is that in game theory, how through rationally normal people will behave differently based on the outcomes and payoffs. It is what this is the context that which you are interested in discussing the entire work. Okay, a rational person is someone who is sensible and is able to make decisions based on intelligent thinking rather than on emotion. Okay, This is the minimal condition we are expecting it. Next important thing is intelligence. What is intelligence? The ability to acquire and apply knowledge and skills. Intelligence. Okay. We show this intelligence almost all the time in our day-to-day life, right? How the intelligence is? We apply the knowledge. If I purchase something, okay, for 77 rupees and I only have a 100 rupee note, but the other guy does not have any change, you only 30 rupees, 3 times, how do we do? He will say that, can you give me 7 rupees extra? So I gave him 7 rupees. Then he gives me 37, 30. It's simple. We do this every day. Surprisingly, when I did the same thing in 1985, 88, when I went to United States, okay, every time the small purchase happens, I gave him the loose change in the top, meaning, okay, it is 550 or something like 550. I have a $10 bill, and above I give a 50 cents. Those people are used to be terribly confused. I mean, why did I give 50 cents over the $10 bill? Because they are not used to that. They are used to mechanically accepting a $10 bill and hunt for change and give it to you. That's why whenever you live abroad, you never worry about change. But having lived in India all along, I got used to that. I was thinking that probably you would ask me 50 cents extra. Okay, that is the difference between, okay, showing intelligence. It is not that they are any less intelligent. They are not used to dealing with that kind of situation. An important definition which you will find in Wiki on intelligence is, more generally, it can be described as the ability to perceive or infer information and to retain it as knowledge to be applied towards adaptive behaviors within an environment. This is, I felt, is the most important phrase which you will find it. Towards adaptive behaviors within an environment. Meaning that in a given environment, you show intelligence differently rather than another environment you may not show intelligence. Let's say if a cop rounds up 100 people and he keeps on asking question, have you anyone seen? Most intelligent people don't even raise their hand that I have seen it, because knowing if the cops are not very genuine, okay, you will be in trouble. So you would rather keep quiet. Okay, whether to keep quiet or not, again, it is a strategy. We'll come to that in the next, as we move along. Okay, now we come back to the original, our thinking, right? We saw two loons fighting in the thing. So what should they do? Okay, to keep things simple, we consider only two strategies, fight or not fight. As a shorthanded, fighting strategy is called hawks. You know, hawks, you know, I don't have to tell you. Okay, non-fighting strategy are doves. They are a symbol of peace. You know, very mild mannered. They don't do any harm. We see numerous doves lying on the ground. Even till the last minute, they don't even fly. Okay, so we will consider other strategies, okay, if time permits. But we need to figure out the payoff to each strategy when it is used against the other strategy. Okay, often representation is very, very important. Meaning, how do I represent that I can understand? Maybe others can also understand it. Okay, so there are many other ways to represent it. One of them is a graphical way, but today I'm not using the graphical way. I'm using a matrix way. A matrix in mathematics is just nothing but numbers arranged in row and column wise. That means that you can make a clear sense out of everything. Now let's say what is the way which we want to write it down. Each cell in a payoff matrix shows the average payoff, okay, to the strategy. What I mean is, this is one player. Okay, I deliberately did not write so that you will pay attention. This is player 1. This is player 2. If player 1 plays, he wants to behave like a hawk, okay, what does he get against if the player 2 also plays like a hawk? Payoff to hawk against a hawk strategy. That's what, use the word strategy, okay? Again, player 1 is hawk, but the other guy is a dove. What is that he gets payoff to a hawk against a dove? Now, player one behaves like a dove. What does he get against a hawk? And both players play a dove strategy, correct? So now here comes is the interesting. You will begin to see, can you begin to see something in this matrix? There are only 4 numbers. You will begin to see some sort of symmetry. Okay, the symmetry is if I turn this, rotate, flip on this axis, you will see that both remains the same because play of to hawk will remain the same, play of to dove remain the same. These two exchange with each other, but still nothing changes. So these are 2 by 2 symmetrical games, we call it. Whenever you see a payoff matrix like that, you don't have to worry. Oh, this is a 2 by 2 symmetry matrix. That means that the matrix numbers are simply a mirror image of, if you put a mirror image along this axis, you will see that the numbers will be here. Okay, but now we have to get into more specific. If the research is worth it, is that the way they look at it? Cost to the fighting. If V is the value to the resource, so a winner gets it everything, pay off V, and C is the cost of being injured when losing into the fighting. That means that you have to subtract that to C. What is the point in, I mean, when you are losing so badly, to what extent you will fight? Okay, here comes is an important, again, fundamental concept. The law of total probability states that payoff to your strategy is the sum of payoffs to for each column outcome multiplied by the probability of each outcome. Okay, for example, how do I calculate the payoff? There are 2 outcomes, win and loss. Okay, each with its own probability. Right now, we are just thinking that it's like a spin of a coin. That means that when you spin a coin, either you get heads or you get tails. Okay, each one probability, the chance is 50% chance of this, 50% chance of that. Okay, so probability of winning, what do you get if you win? Okay, if you get heads, payoff into multiply that. Probability of losing, payoff if you lose. So this is the net payoff. That is what you are going to get. Okay, P win, P lose. What you will get out of that. So just to give you an example for all of you, if I draw a card from a game of that, okay, I'll say that if you get a clubs, you will get this. If you get a spade, you will get this. You will get, if you get a diamond, but there are only 4 colors in a deck. Okay, so any one color, when you pick any card, you will get any one of the color, barring joker. Okay, let's say I eliminate joker from the deck because stochastically, if I shuffle the deck very randomly, I may even get the joker too, but joker is removed. So you will get 1/4 of the probability. Being any one of the color is 1/4 the probability. That means that if I add all such probabilities, you should always add up to 1. Okay, and then whatever the payoff associated with each one. Similarly, if I am rolling a dice of 6 faces, I would say that, okay, you get one kind of payoff if the number is between 1 and 3. So how many numbers are there between 1 and 3? Then you have another, if you get any one of them, 4 or 5, you will get something. But if you get 6, you will get another one. So all the probabilities will add up to 1. Okay. And that is nothing, it is not a genius of mathematics or something, this is an elementary mathematics. If that is the case, so we need to determine what is the average payoff for fighting by the loons and what if it is the cost associated. The average payoff is even, okay, we said that we added a value of resource minus the cost, okay, V by 2 minus C minus 2. That is the kind of equation which they get the result, okay. Again, I would like to define the word strategy because this word is going to be used afterwards, probably in the next talk also more frequently. Strategy, it is a noun, okay? A plan of action designed to achieve a long-term and overall aim. Meaning, I stick with a strategy that I want to do this. Okay, when you are preparing for a competitive exam, you will say that I'm going to stick with this strategy. Apparently, for many years, questions are being asked on this tough subject, so I am going to master it. because my strategy is to master the tough questions. Anytime if I get a tough question with a high mark, I will get full marks because everyone else is not going to attempt it. Similarly, if I start asking questions on hardcore mathematics, many of you probably will not even attempt it. Okay, so I would go with that kind of strategy. So a strategy describes how the ends will be achieved by the means, resources. Meaning, do I have resources to design a strategy? So it is always strategy is variable and strategy is dependent on the resource and especially environment. Okay, remember the word environment. Okay, now we come back to the original game. Hawks means that against the hawk, the blue color represents that person's strategy. Okay, the player's strategy. We said that this is the one, you will get it. Hawk against the hawk, they win the resource, but they have to subtract the cost, average cost. When a hawk plays against a dove, doves give up. They don't do any fighting. They simply, he gets the win. But if he plays a dove, right, he gets 0. Dove is 0. Because this man's strategy, a dove is playing against a hawk, so he gets 0. But if both are doves, okay, they share the resource and V by 2. Now what will happen if I add a value 8 to the resource? Okay, cost of fighting is 4. Let's look at it. Same thing I copied here. Okay, when you have a value of 8 to a resource, the cost of fighting is 4. What happens? I wrote everything here. If you meet a hawk, you get 2 because there is a cost 4 by 2. 8 by 2 minus 4 by 2 is equal to 2. That means that you will get 2. Same thing will happen to that player also. Hawk strategy, you will get 2. But if you meet a dove, meaning I'm a hawk and I'm at a dove, I'm going to get all the 8. So which is better? 2 is better or the 8 is better? So when everyone I meet is a dove, I want to be a hawk. Understand? That means that when everyone else is submissive, I want to be like a brute force guy, bully in English. Okay. But if I'm a dove, I'm going to get 0 because against a hawk, I don't get anything. But if I'm getting a dove, if I'm also meeting a dove, I get 4. Certainly, something you should start thinking slowly, right? We'll think. I'm just hoping that it is sinking slowly. What will happen if I increase cost of fighting? Here, cost of fighting, I kept it as 4. Same equation now, I increased the cost of fighting, meaning cost of losing. If you are going to spend very high losing cost, what will happen? You will be badly injured. I am a hawk. Cost of fighting is so high. I ended up with -1. That means I'm badly wounded probably against my. But when I meet a dog, I got 8. Me being a dog, just like in the previous scenario, I got nothing. But sharing the same resource, value of the resource is the same. Where is the change? So what should I be? In this scenario also, it is better for me to be a hawk. In this scenario also, it is better for me to be a hawk. Because if I meet a dog, I'm going to get full 8 of it. So it is better. Does this really make sense? So what should I do? Should I be a hawk or dove? How strategies can be decided? Okay. If everyone is a hawk, we get an average pay of 2. If everyone is a dove, we get an average 2. Now let's say what happens in that one. If everyone is a dove, a rare mutation happens. It starts to behave like a hawk. Then what will happen? Can you think of it slowly? This hawk, whenever it meets a dove, it gets the highest payoff. Just imagine that it grabs the food from the other. Okay, dove. Under such circumstances, eventually, dove population, hawk population will increase. That is what I have merely described it. But I wish to show you through a mathematical simulation how this thing really happens. Okay, so I will just exit for this for a short while. Okay, this kind of simulations are available everywhere. Okay, what did I say? I said the value of the resource is 8. Cost of losing is, I have to put it at 4. Okay, and initially there are 100 does and 100 hawks. They are playing this strategy. I said that hawk to hawk strategy is V by 2 minus C minus 2. Cost, you have to subtract it because cost of fighting. If it is a doe, you will get 8. If it is a doe against hawk, you will get 0. Doe sharing the resource is 4. If you see that by 100, by something like around, what is the value here? Maybe around 150 generations. By 150 generations of the same conditions persist, you will see the doe population practically, the doe strategy has vanished from the scenario. Everyone you will find is only a hawk. I hope you are slowly seeing it, correct? What will happen? You should be asking the question. When you have a simulator like it in front of you, you should always sit and play around so that you understand better and better. So we'll play for a few more minutes. Okay. If I increase the cost of fighting, what will happen? Okay. So I'll keep on clicking this. What happened? Cost of losing is enormously high. What will happen? Suddenly you find that those strategy, meaning no one wants to lose. Okay. Cost of losing is so high. Okay. You would better share it. Because cost, it is actually reflecting the cost of fighting. You will be losing your life. You know that you cannot win, so you better share it. Okay. If I'm saying that if I am only something like around only one of 10 thing which are playing the strategy, 100 of them there, you will see that within a very short population, the doe strategy has vanished from the sea. Everyone is a doe. So now if we come back to this is a part of a mathematical simulation. This is publicly available Gamebug software. I will give the link. You can all sit and play around. Okay, it's important to sit and play around. So now an important aspect that comes into this game. In a gaming matrix, you are seeing 2804, 1804. Something should be coming to your mind that, is there any dominant strategy that is available? Yes, recall the word strategy. That means that the fight has to choose an approach that it becomes dominant. That is one way. Then, when it is dominant, especially when played by a population, what should we call that? Let's look at evolution of a strategy. Okay, I would just simply switch over my talk to another PowerPoint file for a few minutes. Okay, just imagine that there are 10 birds on a branch sitting. A hunter came, shot an arrow at the leftmost bird. Okay, how many birds are live sitting on the branch? I think you all know the question answer, right? Read the question again. A hunter came, aimed an arrow at the leftmost bird, shot an arrow, and it died. How many will be there on the branch? You know the answer. Same situation. A hunter came, aimed an arrow at the leftmost bird, okay, and it missed him. He did not hit the bird. How many live birds are left sitting on the branch? Again, I'm sure you can answer this, right? Same situation. A hunter came, aimed an arrow at the leftmost bird. I did not say anything. Same situation. A hunter came. Before he aimed, all birds flew away. So now you ask the question, what is the answer to the previous question? If birds have run away, what was the previous question? A hunter came, aimed an arrow. If they have already flew away in a situation, what would they be doing in that? They would have flown away. But in all the situations, I believe your answer is 0. There will be none left. That is a practical observation, correct? There will be how many live birds are left sitting on the branch. That means that either my question is wrong or the answer is wrong. I believe that the question is not so correct. Okay. How do we answer this question very clearly? If we look at that, I want to give some space in the question. Where should I give that space? Okay. How many birds are left sitting on the branch? I want to split that question into two sides. How many live birds are left? Hunter came, shot an arrow, one is not live, they died. Okay. 9 birds are alive, mathematics tells me. But then the question is, should they be sitting on the branch? They don't have to. So 9 are alive, but they are not sitting on the branch. So what happened here? There are 3 things happen here continuously. Observation, learning, and adaptive response. Okay, we ask if any one of them is missing, what will be the result? There are 10 birds sitting on the branch. They did not observe that an arrow is coming at them on the branch. No. So there are 10 birds on the branch. They have observed that arrow is coming, but they did not learn what to do. So they might still be sitting on the branch because they had no idea. Adaptive response. Okay, again the same question. There are 10 birds sitting on the branch. They have observed an arrow is coming. They learned that you have to do something, and then they respond with an adaptive response. Okay, what can they do? Being birds, what can they do? Okay, so I asked the same question. I don't know what birds can do. The birds can blah, 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 blah. I have no idea what they can do. Okay, the birds can, again, I'm still not coming up with that. The birds can, probably still I'm not able to answer that, but I believe they can do something. Okay, I came up with this one. The birds can build a fence around them so that the incoming arrow can be stopped. You all must be laughing, but I believe they can. Okay, they can. The birds can do something else. They can still do something else. Okay, the birds can catch the arrow and throw back to the hunter. This will be even more laughing for you, correct? Maybe they are trained by Rajinikanth or a cinema movie hero. They can catch the arrow and throw back the arrow to the hunter. I don't know. Okay. The birds can. I don't know. The birds can fly away from the branch. I found 3 possible things, but I'm still thinking that they can do something else. Okay. Let's say for the time being, I'm a believer. Okay. That they can do something. I don't know. This is unknown to me, right? So I would say that birds can do something at a cost. I don't know. CU is unknown. CU, again, the birds can still, I don't know. Still, I don't know. I said that the birds can build a fence around them. Cost. It involves, if it can incur certain costs to build a fence around them, that means that they have to run around quickly and get the suitable material that can stop the arrow from hitting them. Okay, it is possible, but at a cost. We don't know, again, unknown. The birds can throw back the arrow back. Okay, they can catch the arrow, throw it back to the hunter. Okay, but it can do at a certain cost. Again, it can do. Now, the birds can fly away at a cost of flying, meaning flight energy, if they can do. I still don't know. Okay, I would say this is different you from discover it. I don't know really. Okay, but what is that? I have it. I have a terrific list of costs associated with each action. Okay, what can I do? I can estimate the cost, meaning high to low. Cost of unknown, I don't know, but certainly probably could even be higher. Cost of birds, build a fence. Okay. Next cost could be cost of throwing the arrow back at the hunter. Probably still easiest thing is the cost of flying away. Still probably we don't know. If at all in future, okay, you discover that the birds sitting on that branch can do anything better to protect that arrow from hitting them, leading to that death. That sure his strategy is going to be the most stable strategy. Till that time, the birds flying away from the branch is the best strategy. The population can adapt it. I think you will all agree with me, correct? Just I'm pausing for a 1 second. Birds can build a fence around them. Remember this. The birds can throw back the arrow towards the hunter. Again, remember this. Birds can fly away, we know this. So, among all the costs, I believe that cost of flying away is the cheapest they can do. They can save themselves. That means the cost of flight energy is the cheapest, and it is their best strategy which they can do. So when played by a population, any strategy, it becomes, we call it evolutionarily stable strategy. When an evolutionarily stable strategy is present, no other strategy can dominate that strategy. Am I clear to you? I will repeat that sentence. When a strategy played by a population, evolutionary strategy played by a population, no other strategy can dominate that strategy. That means that there is nothing else better than ESS. ESS, okay, let me switch over to my other talk. When a population, when a ESS played by a population, no, I said no other strategy can dominate it. Now you will ask me a question. How can I say that this is evolutionarily stable strategy? Okay, I'm showing you 3 matrices, correct? Strategy A, player 1, strategy player 2, strategy A versus A is 2. Okay, strategy B versus 2 is also 2. I'm not calling players now. Strategy 2 and 2. How do I say that which is an evolutionary stable strategy? Okay, so let's look at it. I want to just, I'm trying to switch over to, I'm just hoping that all of you can see that, correct? Can you see any change in this one? That means that if I'm starting with 100, what happened here now? This is this matrix, correct? 2, 1, 1, 2. Two strategies. I'm just labeling it. You can see that neither of them is trying to dominate the other. Okay. Strategy A and to B, these are two independent evolutionary stable strategies. That means the strategy B cannot invade a population of A, and strategy A cannot invade a population of B. They will remain stable on that. This is called a pure state of evolutionary stable strategies. Okay. In this case, the strategy 2 will dominate it. This is A. The corporate, the blue ones, which were dominating the, I think this is the one, right? Corporate blue is getting the best against both corporate and just forget the word defect. Okay. You are seeing that eventually this blues will dominate that, meaning the red is getting only one payoff. Okay. That means that whenever the red strategy meets the blue, it only gets one. Whenever the red gets against the red, it only gets one. So eventually this population will get eliminated from the scenario. Just like we said that, okay, what happens here in this case? There is no pure yes. Okay. Since I want to save some time, leaving that material for you to play with around, try to understand what really happens when there is no pure yes. Okay. It is something important. It is a population dependent strategy game. Okay, now I'm coming back. Yes, please.
Hello, sir. We have questions coming up from the participants. So, do you think that we can take the questions now, sir?
Yeah. Okay.
Great. At the outset, I would first like to apologize for the poor internet connectivity, but I'm sure all the attendees know by now that today we have with us Dr. Shastri, who is an expert in game theory and will help us understand all the concepts and everything, and probably help us develop better strategies in life and in our research also. So, sir, I'll ask a few questions only because we are short of time. So, the first question I would like to ask on behalf of our attendees is, how do we quantify some qualitative characteristics like aggressiveness or submissiveness for hog-dove game so as to apply the game theory?
Sure. It's actually, how do we submissiveness, right? Okay. Let's say for a first interaction, okay, I get, if I can argue with you 1 point, okay, I will get 1 point. Okay, this game can be played inside a classroom. In fact, if it had been a live interaction, I would have played it live, meaning simulation inside the classroom. Okay, submissiveness. How many attempts you actually gave to ask a question? Okay, or you ask if you are bringing 2 participants, I will ask one of the person to aggressively behave it, meaning try not to even listen to the other person. I mean, just mildly increase aggression. The other person tries to ask a question. Just wait, listen to me. This is like a typical TV debates which we see in English movie channels, right? One guy is shouting. The other guy is trying to request, please give me. So submissiveness can be quantified. Okay, quantified based on in a gaming scenario how we want to define it. Okay, let's say for example the dove just simply gives up without a fight. Okay, it is lost. It has no territory to sit and strive. That means that kind of population eventually will not be able to breed. Exactly the same question if I had given the simulation. Okay, let's say I said that you have a payoff 4 among all dove population. Everyone shares beautiful, correct? In that quantification, if you get a mutation in one of the dove that starts behaving like a hawk, essentially it will drive away that strategy. The dove strategy will go away. Now you think the other way. You have an entire population of hawks. A dove mutant appeared, submissive mutant. Okay, is it going to get any benefit from the hawk? No. So in reality, there are mathematical equations that can be defined for submissive behavior as well as aggressive behavior. But these are context dependent functions. Okay. So if I simply say that submissive behavior, I will decrease the payoff. Okay. That means that every time I design a function, I will not give a high payoff. That means it is submissive. But more context dependent mathematical definitions, it is possible. Okay. Yes. Next one.
Yes, sir, that's an interesting question answer, and it brings me to the second part of this question, where I also wanted to ask this, that the hawk's fighting skills or its strength, or the fact that human emotions are also, I mean, in context of humans, the emotions we are also driven by emotions. So all these things also taken into consideration, when we say that probability for a particular person to behave in a certain way is blah blah. So are these things also taken into consideration? Emotions, strength, skills, etc.
In one word, absolutely. Okay, that is the second part of the thing. Evolution of cooperation. In fact, I opened several windows. Okay, so I thought that for the next talk, if somebody may be joining, somebody may not be joining. Okay, but watch this video. Okay, just watch this video. All of you have seen it, right? Can you recall this video? In YouTube, this video is available. Why I'm saying this particular video has what you're saying, okay? It has human emotions. When I watched this video first time, okay, I did not notice certain things. But then I kept watching this video over and over many times. This video is made beautiful because certain fundamental concepts in game theory have been very carefully drafted in that. But I don't want to reveal it. I was thinking that if people watch this video as many times as possible, okay, then you will try to notice what are all the unusual things, okay, you will see it. Then the question comes in, is it modelable? Meaning, can I model that behavior? Yes. The answer is yes. Okay. Yeah, that is what I wanted to preserve for next talk. Okay.
Sure, sir. Sure. So I would like to tell all our attendees that this is a two-part webinar, and Dr. Sastry will be continuing this talk on 18th, that is next week, Thursday. And today, like, he touched upon the concept of game theory and gave some very interesting examples. I believe that in the more to the biology that we work with in day-to-day life. So yes. Thank you very much.
The last slide, I just wanted to show it. Okay, in this gaming example, we're living in a pandemic, right? In this pandemic, what am I supposed to do? Should I cooperate with my colleagues? What is cooperation here? Okay, I'm just giving an example. I wear a mask, you wear a mask, so neither of them can transmit it. But there is a person who doesn't want to wear the mask. So what should we do? Can we model it? Begin to start thinking. Okay, you will be surprised that okay, by evolving cooperation, you can win a pandemic or any infection hands down. Okay, that's what we are going to look at: the evolution of cooperation in social scenarios, in bacteria, and importance of defection. Okay, okay. So maybe first I will say is that till we meet next week, 3 things you should do: wear a mask, maintain social distance, don't go out unnecessarily, have a good time. Okay.
That's a great advice. Thank you so much, sir. And I believe all of us will, all the attendees will be there again on 18th. We have a lot of questions which are still left unanswered. But
I can take one or two if it is a small one.
Yeah. We will take some more on 18th, I believe, after you have, and I am sure that some of them will be answered through your talk on 18th also, sir. So, yes. Yeah. So great. So we will join back on 18th. And thank you so much, Dr. Sastry.
Yeah, Yeah, please go ahead.
I have a quick announcement for all the attendees. So all the attendees are requested to submit their feedback through a feedback form, which our team will be sending over to you. Please make sure to provide your inputs, following which a certificate of participation will be awarded to you. So that's it from my side. Thank you very much for joining us today. We'll see you again on 18th, where Dr. Shastri will further elaborate on and give us some more examples pertaining to the present day situation. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you, Dr. Shastri.
Yeah, thank you. See you all.